Now, Jermall Charlo has some choice words for two middleweight, a champion and a contender, Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin, Triple G. We know they're getting it on September 16th. He said, I'm not focused on Canelo Alvarez or Gennady Golovkin. Jermall Charlo says, I'm focused on getting to a position where they can't avoid me. And that's some real shit right there. This your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the boxing plan. Let's enter some real boxing talk. And basically what he's saying is, I know basically they're not gonna willingly fight me. Voluntarily, they're not gonna fight Charlo. That's basically what he's saying. He wants to be their mandatory, so they must fight him. Now, there's been some talk about Gennady Golovkin retiring after the Canelo Alvarez fight, because his wife, she wants him to retire. He might continue to fight on. He might want to be lineal champion. All that talk about moving to 168, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to continue fighting, and Canelo Alvarez, basically, the only belt that he's going to be fighting for Triple G is the WBA and I guess the IBF. But the funny thing about him fighting for the IBF belt is the second day weigh-in, where he has to be, he can't be higher than 170 pounds. And that's significant. I don't know if he said he's gonna fight for the IBF, but I don't know if he will. If you want to do that second day weigh-in, because Danny Jacobs seen that was a clear advantage for him to pack on extra weight and said, fuck the IBF title. And what's so significant about that, if he doesn't fight he's not fighting for the WBC, he's still beefing with the WBC. So if he's not fighting, for the WBC, he's gonna fight for the WBA, and then, if he doesn't fight for the IBF because of the weight, but he said he will. Charlo is ranked number 3 in the IBF and number 2 in the WBC, and the WBO is Billy Joe Saunders ranks. He's like 7-8 right there. But the funny thing about it is he's not ranked at the WBA. So if Canelo Alvarez is concerned about packing on that weight, the only belt he's going to be fighting for the Triple G has, potentially, if he doesn't want to do the second day weigh-in with the IBF, is going to be the WBA, and Charlo's not ranked in the WBA. So that's interesting. And, the reason he's saying that, he wants to be in a position where they can't avoid him is for the simple fact that Canelo Alvarez, they called Canelo Alvarez out at 154, him and his twin brother. And Canelo wasn't trying to, fight him. He wasn't trying to fight anybody. He gave Lara a shot, his stablemate, Charlo's stablemate, and, pretty much that was it. His resume at 154, didn't include, Andrade, the Charlo twins. But to be fair, at that point in time, neither one of them guys were, they weren't significant, players in the division. And Andrade still isn't a significant player because he remains inactive. But, when the story goes, when those guys became significant players as far as the Charlo twins, and I guess you say Andrade, when he was somewhat active, Canelo wanted to fight at Super Canelo weight. And they didn't want to fight him. So, I see where Charlo's coming from. He wants that Canelo fight, and I think that's a bad matchup for Canelo. For the simple fact, if this guy, like he says in his press interview, the press conference, he said he's more mentally sharper, he's feeling better, he's focused. And what's funny about it is, people say, oh, he didn't knock out Trout or he didn't do this. When he had that LASIK eye surgery, with his eyes, they got the medical clearance to prolong to prolong the J-Rock fight, so long Julian J-Rock Williams. He proved he looked like a different fighter after the LASIK eye surgery, to be honest. And he did look better. And now if we gonna see next Saturday, if he's bigger, stronger, and faster to this new weight, because at other weigh-ins, he especially with the J-Rock, he looks sunk in, his face looks sunk in, he didn't look healthy. And now I see him he's looking healthier now, he's a little bit fuller. He might be bigger and stronger at 6 foot. I hear he's closer to 6'1", 6'2" almost, and it could be an issue. And as far as Danny Jacobs, most people want to see Danny Jacobs and Charlo fight. That's a good fight as well. But as far as Canelo and Charlo, I think that's a bad matchup. A lot of people think, after Canelo beats Triple G, he's going to be able to do whatever he wants. I don't think he's not going to willingly fight Charlo anytime soon. And the Triple G, I think he's really contemplated, unifying with the winner and Billy Joe Saunders and Willie Monroe and leaving the division. So I don't see Triple G fighting Charlo. I think he has bigger fish to fry. I think it's either unify, retire, or move to 168 and fight the winner of the World Boxing Super Series. I guess by the time that he would have to get, if Billy Joe Saunders or Willie Monroe win, he can get them in the ring next year. And by the time he's ready to fight again, I guess the World Boxing Super Series winner will be unveiled, and he can go ahead and get a title there, or get a fight there before he goes there and get a title, fight Gilberto Ramirez, and then fight the winner. Then his, pretty much his legacy is cemented if he becomes a 2-time world champion and 2-time weight class champion, lineal undisputed champion, and then he beats Ramirez and beats the winner of the Boxing Super Series, and seen as amongst one of the best super middleweights in the world. So I don't think, I'm not saying that Golovkin's scared or he's going to avoid. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense on his end. He's done all he can do. Charlo doesn't really, do much at this point because he got Canelo, he got the significant victory. Then he want to become lineal, and then after that, he want to be a 2-time champion. So it's simple as that. And for Charlo, he wants to fight both of them, and a lot of people say, oh, he's not ready, or they don't want to give him credit, or they want to say he's this, he's that. At the end of the day, you said people was ducking Golovkin. People saying people avoiding Golovkin. This is a guy that wants to fight him. It's not bad timing, good timing, it's right timing. For Charlo, he wants to get Golovkin if he comes off the biggest win in his career, and he wants Canelo Alvarez if he come off the biggest win in his career. But I'm saying on the Canelo and the Golovkin end, I don't see it happening anytime soon. For Golovkin, I don't see it happening, period. And Canelo is very bleak, but we gone.